This is the new setup I just finished configuring. With this setup, we can trade both funding and stocks, and it's designed for scalping. This is for scalping. Right now, I'm trading. For example, first, I'll guide everyone on how to use this setup. In this setup, I only configured about 5 indicators. Okay. So among the 5 indicators here, there are 2 main indicators. The first one I use is optimized target. In the optimized target section, we have the part for rural management. The rural management is for investment or day trade, depending on our setup. When I turn on this rural management, it's meant for calculating for the long-term trend, meaning we use it for investment, which means using it for a larger time frame, or for swing trading in the long term. Then we use the reward management part, and after that we will use the CAT recession section. CAT recession, huh? In here there's a section for day trade. For day trade we will use 1 minute to 10 minutes. For swing trade, we will use 15 minutes to 1 hour. For investment, we will use from 2 hours to about... Here, I will use the section auto, which means I let the indicator automatically track the reverse of time and the entry for me. But if I don't want to use auto, I turn it off and use menu. In menu, I will set it according to whether I want day trade, swing trade, or investment, and then the indicator will run accordingly. Okay, so now I will set it to auto for it to track the post. Okay, so the buy and sell signal part, you just turned it off, right? And if we, here, the buy and sell signal part, if you want to use it, you can turn it on or turn it off. It's up to you. Okay, so I turned it off because I want the chart to be easier to view. Okay, so in this part, then the show part, the MA. Here is the filter part, so that sometimes we can look to know where we are, what the trend is like, to make it easier to view. You can turn it off or turn it on, it's up to you. So in this part, in the trading style section, there is the invest e-trade, swing trade part, which is similar here, okay? But this part is for the back test. If you want to use the back test, this is the setup part for the back test. So in the back test section, we have the liquidity part. Liquidity is these 2 lines here. Liquidity is these 2 green and red lines. There, these are the 2 liquidity lines. So if the price action is above the liquidity line, the trend, the momentum will push up strongly, it brackets. But if the price action falls below these 2 liquidity lines, then the trend starts to decrease sharply. Okay, that's the part to determine the momentum. Now the liquidity is up here, so the price action is currently between like this. So the liquidity part is here, and the price action will fluctuate around the center here. Okay, so to know when the momentum wave will unfold, we will rely on this liquidity line. Now the price action is currently within this area, and these phenomena have not yet occurred in this 2-minute frame. Okay, next we will have the setup part of the risk management part. Okay, so this risk management part is for stocks and for futures. Now I'm trading futures, so it's up to us. If we trade futures, we minimize and set the futures. When we set the futures, this raw management part will change. It will be based on those parameters. So we just know that, okay, when we buy and trade, we will sell here. Now it will let us know that it doesn't fluctuate strongly. Remember, because this is based on the parameters, based on the liquidity volume of the futures, and it will calculate for us. The price, a part can only go so far, it maxes out, but when you set up stocks, my stocks will be different. The parameters for stocks will differ from futures, so it will calculate for us. Since I'm trading futures, I can set it up like this, it's up to you. This will be based on the volume parameters to calculate. Okay, this part here, in this section, bar color, you can set it up to know the parameters. For example, now if I change it, I change it to 21. Yeah, try changing it to 34. Then which part will change? So now, okay, let's try changing it to 50. Sorry everyone, because the part up here is set to auto. Auto means I let the bot handle it, so it's not in the menu. I forgot this part. Okay, so when we set it to auto, the bot will automatically calculate everything for us. It will calculate based on its settings, so we don't need to use the menu anymore. Unless we don't want to use this, then we turn off the bot to start setting the menu. Okay, and when we set up the bot, it will automatically track, so we won't be able to use these parameters anymore. I forgot this part, I'm sorry everyone. Okay, so this is to let everyone know. In addition to the cat P session, we have the Aura trend. Aura trend is specifically for stocks. Right now, I'm not using it, I'm trading futures, so I turned it off. But if you want to use it, you can turn it on. So you turn on this part. In this part, if you simply select it, you will basically go to the input section. You only change this part if you are trading big cap, then you set up big cap. If you are trading penny stock or small cap, then you only change this part. You need to go to the key stake. We go to the key stake section. Okay. For example, if I'm tracing Tesla, when I trace Tesla, I go to the key stake section. When I enter the key stake section, below there is a share float section, which is 2,080,000,000 or 800 million. Now, when I enter here, it's 2,800,000,000 here. So when I set up, it gives me the parameters here. Okay. It gives me the parameters. Let me minimize this. So when it gives me the parameters, let me enlarge this a bit so we can see it more clearly. Okay. When we trade this, yes, here. The volume and float section will calculate the percentage for us, where volume is the amount traded and share float is the amount available for trading. This will total up and give us a percentage. And if that percentage hits 100%, then this does not fluctuate strongly. So when we see it hit 10%, from 10% to 100% is stable fluctuation. But when it drops from 100% to 10%, it becomes very slow. When trading this, it usually results in 2 sideways movements. When trading, you typically want to trade with strong fluctuations, depending on whether you are a trader or an investor. If you are a day trader, you will usually look at this range from 10% to 100%. But if you are an investor, meaning you swing trade or invest long term, then you can rely on the sideways part to invest. Okay, so you don't need to focus too much on this. But this part is to let us know when the market will fluctuate strongly. Okay? So this part is very important, and I usually apply this part a lot to penny stocks. Okay? So, okay, this beta part tells us that, Okay, here is low and tardy, then this is the wave. If the volatility is low, then this stock is okay and I can confidently trade it. But when I see this showing 2-2, it means I should only day trade and cannot swing trade or invest because it is very risky. Okay, so when I look here and see low and tardy, the volatility is not strong, so I can invest or swing trade. Okay, then I use this part to look at its price trend, meaning the price fluctuation during the day. Currently we are in the pre-market, so the fluctuation is slow. It fluctuates around 86 cents for each 2-minute candle. Okay, so this price trend will calculate for me that in one day Tesla can fluctuate between $30 to $40. So I will look at this part. The price change and the price change percent. When trading, the price transfer rate should be around 10%. 10% is considered a good fluctuation level. So when day trading, I will look at this. At 10%, the profit will be higher. Okay, now it's just 1 point, 1 point, 2 points. So it will only be a few dozen cents. So when trading large amounts, like around 300, 400, I need the list and it should be around 10%. Okay, this price change ratio, if it's around 100%, then it's a stable price level for trading. If it reaches around 200, 300%, then it's pretty good. In a day, it can fluctuate, of course, by 340 units. So we just need to pay attention to this part. So in here, it will be based on the opening and closing prices. Usually, if you don't have the indicator here, you'll look at the price action, the price fluctuation. In the case that each candle has a team at home to determine, it will calculate for us here. It will calculate for us both the closing and opening prices as well as the high and low prices to determine the price rent signal. That is, as you might already know, the price for the thing is the price for us to trade, and here it shows as low for 30, meaning when this trading price is very low. Low is around 5 cents, 20 cents. When I see that, I don't need to trade. When I trade, I will look at it. If it shows us 2 or yellow, add 1 more yellow, or if it shows green meaning 2, yellow is okay. So when I see that, it's okay to trade. Currently it's low and 30, meaning this is only around 20, 30 cents. It's going sideways, so I don't need to trade. This FA part is for me to use when trading stuff, When trading futures, I don't need to use these. I can turn them off. I go into the style section, I turn up this table part. Okay, now I'm trading like this. I'm done with this part, Yeah. So now let me explain the reward management part. Okay, in here we have the optimized target section. This optimized target is used to determine the trend in larger time frames. Okay, for example, if we determine the trend is 2 hours. For example, we determine the trend direction for 2 hours very clearly, to know how Tesla's trend will be. So when we open the trend determination. So this Bitcoin management section will analyze for us. It will let us know that, okay, Tesla has a downward trend. Okay, so now, so notice, if we trade in the short term, okay, in the short term, the raw management area. In the short term will let us know that Tesla is in an upward trend with its highest price reaching a maximum of 429, which is called 420, 429. Okay, and we have the resistance area right here, which is the resistance level at 423. So we see if Tesla's price goes up, the highest price, and this is the short-term trend. If we look here, this is the long-term trend, okay? Then the lowest price, the most calculated, is if in the 2-hour frame, it will suggest around 313. Okay. In case it goes down, here we have the test area. This is the test area. So now we will cautiously move something up, okay? Okay, So we cautiously move the test area up. And this is the okay. It will test for us a short retest, long retest, it retests. And if this one, okay, this retest part, it shows the breakout part. Okay, if the breakout signal appears and it points down, it means this retest is indicating a downward move. If the initial lock decreases and it can't hold, it means the upward trend can't be maintained because it will decrease. Here, it retests, a short retest. So this trend is to determine whether it will continue to rise or fall. Here, if it shows the word breakout, when we display the breakout direction and it points down, it means this trend will go down. But if the breakout points up, then this trend will be an upward trend. Okay? And in the case where we talk about retesting, it depends on who likes to trade. Backtest or like to trade retests, then we apply this technical part. Okay? But if you don't like to trade backtests, then you don't need this. You can turn it off here, because when you turn it on, there will be many signals here which can make you feel overwhelmed. Because in this indicator section, there are many strategies depending on whether you like to trade, backtest, trade breakouts, or hit trades. It's up to you. If you don't need it, you can turn it off. Okay, the signal will disappear. Alright, next is the trend section, the long-term trend. That means when you use 2 hours, this part will show up and it will let you know how many days this is. Now let's go in here. Okay, starting from this point, from the point where it appears, I measure. Okay, so this is for 20 days. Okay, this is for 20 days of 22 hours. Then the wave is the wave of 22. Okay, after that, when I measure like that, the management part here for 2 hours is for 20 days, starting from Wednesday, January 22nd. Until Wednesday, February 12th, this is for 20 days. Until February, it tells us that the price of Tesla, if it decreases, could potentially go down to 313. The lowest point is 292 within 20 days. So this is managing raw data. And this is the entry point of the downward trend. This is managing raw data. So now Tesla is in a downward trend, huh? So now it's confirming the entry of the upward trend character. Currently, Tesla is fluctuating in price down here, meaning it hasn't completely downgraded. It's backtesting. Okay, so its price is fluctuating, going up and down, up and down. This trend is short-term, an upward trend. The highest price it reached is 429. Okay, we manage raw data here. When we see this opposite, meaning it changes back to a downward trend, this is the downward trend. This is part of the homework where we can know within 20 days that Tesla will have this price fluctuation. When talking about using confirm, intrude, change-up director, we know that the trend, this trend will decrease. To know the trend, in the rearware management section, it depends on how you prefer to use it. Now we use 1 hour. That was about 2 hours. Now we will use 1 hour, and within 20 days, the previous price, if Tesla is in the price range, that is backtesting and it fails, then the downtrend fails, then this is its uptrend. It's just backtesting. We don't know if Tesla will go down or up. So if we look at it over 2 hours, which is within 20 days, then it might go down next week. But if we look at the short term, which is here, you see it analyzes for us, then here, let's see, starting from today, earnings up to here is 11 days. So this is the 11-day trend. Okay. So this is short-term trading, then Tesla will fluctuate here up to here using its highest price of 403. And if the price is above the confirmed entry transitive character, then this is an upward trend for Tesla. But if Tesla goes up to here and gets rejected at the price range of 4,000, this is the part of the homework where I can know within 20 days that Tesla will have this price. So when talking about using the confirm entry channel of the director, we know that this trend will decrease. Okay. So now then, so when I look at this part, to know the trend in the management section, it depends on how you prefer to use it. So now we use 1 hour. Okay. That's when we talk about 2 hours, right? So now I will use 1 hour. And within 20 days, if Tesla is in the price range and the backtest fails, if the downtrend fails, then this is its uptrend. It's just backtesting. We don't know if Tesla will go down or up. So if we look at it in 2 hours, meaning within 20 days, then it might go down gradually. But if we look at the short term, like here you see it analyzes for us. So let's see, starting from today, earnings, until here it's 11 days. So this is the 11-day trend. Okay. So this is short-term trading, yeah. Tesla will fluctuate here, up to here, using its highest price of 433. And if the price is above the confirmed entry, transfer of character, then this is an upward trend for Tesla. But if Tesla reaches here and gets rejected at the price level of 435, then this price level will move here, up to the highest price level of Tesla, which will be here, and the next lower price level could be 313 within the same 2-hour period. Now, in the short-term 1-hour frame, we already know how Tesla's price level will move. This is the part where we clearly manage the short term and clearly manage the long term when we apply the regular ideas, and at least taught consistently and strongly, truly reflecting our development. When we trade, our mindset will be more stable. When we use it within this part of the indicator, we have this section. In previous videos, I have already explained how to use it here. See, so typically we have 5 indicators here. At most we have up to 6 indicators. No, actually it's 7 indicators. In total we have 7 indicators, but it depends on us. Like for me, I only use the necessary indicators, so that's it. We can change this as we like and use this part if we want to. For me, I might turn it off and only use these 4 indicators. In other cases, like when I want to use the indicator, this one, or this one, depending on me, I will turn it on. Or here, I will turn it on if I want to use all 7 of my indicators. Here, I will turn on all 7. Okay, so it's up to us. For example, if we want to use any, it's up to us. Like now, if I don't want to use this one, I can remove it. There. Then I use the all side part. If you don't like this and you prefer something simple, then you use this part. It's up to us. If we don't like it, we can close it and use it normally. So here, I just use the simple part, like these indicators. So, okay, now back to the issue of trading futures. Okay, for trading futures, I will set up the futures here. Okay, so now usually I use 2 minutes a lot. This is the very extremely specific, significant part. Okay, so here is the 2-minute part, right? 2 minutes, now is the part. 2 minutes, now is the downtrend. Now in this case, I will test, then I will press shift here. Let's see, here it says shift file, and here it says shift sell. So we will set it up as shift sell. Okay, then when we press here, it's managed. Then I print and transmit this signal point, right? Then after this, I will set it right here. Okay. Ha, profits. Arrange the prices here. Now you can buy another one. Then we will manage raw according to this part.
Yes.
Then you can play 4 of them. In here already. If you play 4, then you follow this one. It goes down. Later, in here, we play. So when you play down, this is how you manage the decrease. Then you rely on the raw management part that displays for us. And when we trade, we just set it up like that. And this part, if you find it too confusing, you can just turn it off, meaning you know the trend is decreasing more, right? So the part that the raw management there for long-term swing trade and investment, it tells us how much the trend is decreasing, so we use that. Now, since you are in a short-term time frame, you won't use the long-term reward management, you'll only use the short-term one. This is the short-term reward management part, so you enter 5 orders. Okay, so I set my stop loss right at this red position, and this is my entry point. So, okay, this is where we are stopping. When we make an entry right at this entry zone here, this is our entry point, but this entry point is not stable yet. It might increase because we are playing short. This trend is not stable yet. It might go long, it might switch to long. So this entry part is not 100%. You have to see that. Is a downward trend. Then you can set up, because we're not 100% sure. Okay, we accept losing a little money. Then we can buy the stop loss right here. So if it reverses like that, we'll only lose a little money. Now, when the price hits this low TP1, this entry, it confirms for us that this wave is 100% a downward wave. When it decreases, it will hit these TPs here. So when it hits here, we will know how much we gain. It will show us here. Here we will gain $15. Have you seen this part yet? Here at TP1, we will gain $15. At TP2, we will gain $30. At TP3, we will gain $45. At TP4, we will gain $60. At TP5, we will gain $75. Okay, so here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that means we'll know that we can gain about $200 or thereabouts, okay, for these 5 trades. If it goes straight down like that, then we place 5 trades. We will aim to gain about $200 or $300, okay? So when we trade like this, we will enter orders without being reckless. When we enter orders, our mindset will be more stable, meaning we won't be trading based on guessing anymore. It's displayed up here, so we will follow and trade. Right now I'm losing. It's reversing. If it reverses up here, I might lose about $50. This is my rural management. When I enter this zone and it's not stable yet, my rural will be very high in here. Unless the price action is below the TP1 entry point, this downward trend wave will only confirm a strong decline. It declines, so here, when I trade here, the rule of law requires me to manage the rule of law because I don't know if the price will go down completely or bounce back up strongly. Therefore, I must set a stop loss. Okay, I must set a stop loss. Here, I can't trade based on expectations. Okay, so this is the setup part, the indicator part that I want to introduce to everyone. How to use it, and when we use it, we will trade with more confidence. And when you use this indicator, you can trade 4x. You can trade stocks, you can trade futures. Comedy is okay, that means all forms. Trading, and it will fit with your strategy, and you can trade however you like. You can use this NDK to trade everything. Thank you for watching, and see you again. All the stocks and all types of investments, and usually we have to learn those. On Saturdays, 7. Candlestick patterns like Doji or Marubozu, for example, to determine the price. But it's very complex. There are so many, so we just need to simplify it so that the bot can manage the chart for us. Then when we trade, we will feel more secure, because when we learn about charts, the names of the candles, or when we learn about patterns, those things are very complex. We have to visualize, we have to recognize before we can trade. Sometimes when we try to recognize, we might lose our opportunity, meaning we lose our chance. But here, it will break it down for us so we can trade. The key point is how we manage our rewards. That's the main point. Now, here is the part where I explain to everyone about reward management. In the reward management section, there is a part, there is a volume section here. Okay, when the price goes up here, it will display this part. So this is also the backtest section. When the price action goes up here and drops down, it turns back, and we can see the buy volume and the sell volume. Up here we see the sell volume is stronger, so the price reaches here, if it doesn't backtest and can break the price zone up here, in the past this peak 1, it will drop sharply. Same thing in this backtest area. We see the buy volume and sell volume. When we see the projection at point 1, then when it pushes up at point 1, it pushes up and then drops back. So when we use peak 2 and it drops back, it lands right at this buy volume. That tells us that this retest is rejected by the downtrend, then it will rebound strongly. Okay, so this is where we can use the technique of backtesting with volume, or we can use the technique of backtesting with trends. In here, there are two parts to backtesting. The purple and green ones are trends, while this one is backtesting in terms of volume. Okay, that's backtesting in the form of CAT, and backtest in the form of volume. The blue and purple parts are where we backtest in the form of trend of character, meaning trends. Okay, trend of character means when the price of the price action forms a pattern like this. Okay, then we use the trend of character part of the C8, and this one we use with volume. There. Do you see it? When the price pulls back, we get hit and our stop loss is triggered, see? Now, for example, if I enter the trade again, here, I enter a sell order again, there. Then, I press shift and I press sell. So this is trading using the hard key, right? We don't trade using the other method. So trading with this will be odd, right? There. And if we trade like this. Then I prefer to trade in a way that each of my orders, each of my qualities is 1. Okay. So when I trade like that, each of my qualities is like this. When I press shift, it will go here. And then we manage the reward. Because I trade mini NQ is managed. 3,000 for each one of my qualities. So I trade about 4 qualities, which amounts to around 12,000, and that's a lot of money. Therefore, when trading with quality, I trade 1 at a time and then manage the reward. Usually I only trade 1 or 2. Okay. Today there's a possibility that it might be a lot, so I trade 4. It doesn't really matter how much. With 4 I earn about 200. If I lose 50. If I win, it's around 200, 250. If you trade stocks, here the part for quantity, we set it to 1000. Okay, for each order you press shift cell, then it's 1000 for your order, or shift by 1000. So here you can change your quantity here. Okay. We just need the quantity to use that. So in this part here, in the TradingView platform, you can go to the broker section. Okay, in here you need to find brokers that can be linked with this TradingView. Then we set up, we link it. For example, if we trade with Interactive Broker, or we trade with eTrade, etc., or if we trade with Webull, we can link it to this platform. When we link it to this platform, if we have any brokers that, but its trading platform doesn't have details, then we check that broker, its API. It allows us to link to TradingView or not. If that broker has an API that allows us to link to the broker of the TradingView platform, then we can link it. When we link it, we can use this platform to trade like this. It's up to us. Okay. It's up to us. So if we like TradingView, we can both watch it, manage raw and price action on this platform, and we can also trade on it. It depends on whether our broker's API allows it or not. If it doesn't allow, then we have to create our own API to link to this platform. This part is a bit complicated, so when I have time I will guide everyone on how to do it. Use and link it, and it depends on our broker, okay? Not every broker can do it, everyone, okay? Okay, so in this video I guide everyone on how to use the indicator on this TradingView section, how to set it up, and how to manage with raw. I've shown everyone how to use it, okay? So I hope this video can support those who use this indicator so that they know how to use it. Hello, B-Bows. Hello, Barbara. Use it correctly, because in the indicator section there are many setups and strategies. This is the strategy I often use, so I introduce it to everyone, and you can, when you have the indicator, you can use it and set up your own. Well, you know, indeed. Strategy according to your preference so that it displays in a way that's easier to see and makes trading easier. This is my setup. I keep it simple. I don't need much in here. I just need it simplified, detailed like this. I turn it on there. Then we use this to trade. So now, in the short term, for example, if I say to play 4 trades, now it's around, I'm losing about 184. The stop loss is in here, the trend. This direction is an uptrend. In the 5-minute section, then in the 5-minute section, the trend, the backtest section here. Let's use 10 minutes to see. Okay, anyway, this trend is a downtrend. Okay, we manage raw here, then never know. It might bounce back. Okay, let's check the long-term trend a bit to see how it displays in the larger time frame. Wow, in the 30-minute time frame, this trend is up. Okay. This wave is still an up wave in the long-term trend, 30 minutes. So when we trade in the short term, it's very dangerous. Now it's transitioning. We are transitioning to a downtrend. There. So we are at the, just like I explained to everyone earlier, when we make an entry right here. Okay, the intrusion, its wave is completely unstable. Only when the precipitation hits TP1 can its wave be considered stable, and even whether it's an uptrend or downtrend. So now we are in a price trend that is not stable yet. Therefore, there is a very high chance of hitting a stop loss, or if we take profit, we might lose. Okay, so now I am shorting it, meaning I am shorting in the short term. I am shorting about 250 points. So now if it drops to here, I will gain 250 points. Okay, but if it goes up,